Hey sexy souls, how are you all doing? Hope everybody is having a great morning. I tried yesterday to do the weekend ahead and it just wasn't happening. I do think that I had a very busy morning and I sat down feeling almost a little rushed, even though I still had like an hour to do it. I don't know, that's the neurodivergent in me that's like, I feel rushed, it just wasn't coming out. And I was like, I'm not pushing things. So, I know that it's last minute, but maybe there's just a little message that's going to reach you just in time, okay? So we're going to do some kind of weekend ahead, okay? I think, although I gotta tell you, I'm not feeling, I don't know, I'm not getting any hits on that. So let's broaden it out. Rather than take some kind of, I feel like spirit might go their own way. So we will recognize that we normally do a weekend reading. But I am going to put it at a coffee and tarot. Now, for those who don't know, coffee and tarot is when we leave it open to spirit. We don't come with any kind of intentions, questions, parameters, time frames, anything like that. We sit down, we have a conversation with spirit, and spirit gets to direct the message as they see fit. It means they get to initiate the conversation. So that's what we'll do. Now, bearing in mind that we originally came for the weekend, it could very well have some pertinence to this weekend. But we're not going to set that parameter. We're going to let spirit do it, okay? Alrighty. Whew, I don't know why that came out of nowhere, that sneeze. It's coming again. All right, let's dig in. I don't know why I want to say that, but before we do though, as a friendly reminder, you are a sovereign being over your own life, which means you get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. Anybody who knows me knows that I will sneeze up to 7 times in a row when I start sneezing. It's just a thing. All right. So, on that note, we don't Cinderella shit to make it fit, okay? But my hope is that anytime I do something like a coffee and tarot, there might be something in it for you, even if the message in totality is not, that there is something that you can take away from it, okay? All right, so let's go ahead, and they keep saying dig in, which reminds me of, like, you know, when you're at like a potluck or when you're at dinner and it's like a big spread and you're like, let's dig in, come on, you know, kind of thing. I don't know why it's making me think of food. I'm not hungry in the least, so we shall see. I hate when I sneeze that much, my nose starts to run. My apologies, guys. All right, let me give me a good, my first cup. Look at that. See, I wish my thing was over here so I could always see Piglet. For those who don't know, Piglet's my favorite. Okay, I was about to say it again. I was going to say it again. Let's dig in. I'm like, okay. I don't know why. Okay, I've got the song, and it just dawned on me because it just came in. Like, for a little bit when I was preparing, I lit the candle early to kind of, like, you know, clear out the space, and I did some things. And I kept hearing, if we go down, then we go down together. And they're singing again, all of us. It quieted, it stopped, you know? And so we just started doing it again. And I'm like, okay. Now, that's been used a lot online for this kind of like sense of solidarity for many social movements. across the globe. And so I don't feel that it has a political leaning to it, but it is the idea, a notion of you're not alone. We're in this together. And I don't win if you don't win, kind of a feeling, right? And it does have a very etheric feeling to it, in a sense. And so, but I want to stop shy of saying your spirit team's got your back. I'm going to go turn my heater off because I think that is what's kicking up dust in this place. Even though I changed my filters galore and I just dusted, it feels like it's kicking something up. I'm getting my things cleaned in a week and a half, and I am so excited. My air ducts cleaned. I just think that there's crud inside my air ducts, honestly. All right, so we'll see if that makes a play into this, or maybe that's just a message for somebody out there. Maybe it matters to somebody. And I want to say, when I say political, like, it's not about the current political and climate that's happening right now. I think it's very pertinent to somebody on an individual level. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah. So. Where are we going, Spirit? Like, not a single deck has raised its little hand. All right, this one wants to be heard, and I can tell you right now, there's a part of me that's like, no. It meekly is like, me? It's not even like a strong energy. That's why I'm like, no, if it's not a strong energy, but it's the only one saying something right now. So it may be difficult to speak up about something, or to stand out in front of other energies. Okay, let's see here. Share your thoughts. Okay, yeah, to speak up. Why is there string on my... And seek your destiny. I just heard, what's my thoughts got to do with my destiny? I think someone is feeling like they have zero issues sharing their thoughts, expressing themselves. So it's like, what thoughts? Like, what do you mean? And what's that got to do with my destiny? Look at I love this. Like you're walking into the... Okay. I feel a sense of somebody that holds back saying something. It's kind of reminding me, let me give you a personal example of how, like, there are these parameters, you know, on the Tubi, and it's like, you can't say this within this amount of time. You can say these cuss words, but not this cuss words. Like, it baffles me that people will place a hierarchy on curse word, like cussing. Like, one's worse. How is it worse? The meaning of it isn't any worse. Like, why do you get to choose? Like, and so, like, it's one of those things where I feel like somebody is curtailing, like, they're expressing themselves, but curtailing how they express themselves to be more palatable, to fit within some kind of whatever. Stay strong. Okay. Well, we will dig in and see what... I swear I don't say that shit. I don't know where this digging in thing comes from. That might be one you're all saying. I don't know. I don't know why I'm getting the taste of like salami or like summer sausage. Those little, where you can cut and the little round, in my mouth. Somebody gotta be eating that shit. Okay, thank you. I was gonna die. I'm like, why are you all so quiet? It's like you are the voice in a room full of others that won't say something. The unwillingness to say something. All right, so we have the Eight of Swords. Yes, you're holding back. Knight of Cups is always is definitely associated with the expression of something that you feel deeply. You're holding back from maybe even expressing love. We have the Seven of Swords. It's definitely a defensive energy. I'm getting more. The Fool and the Ten of Swords. You're afraid to start something. You're afraid to start something because you fear the worst case scenario. Because I get like the idea with the Seven of Swords is needing to cultivate and have a positive mental preparation for something, right? There's a defensive energy. It is ensuring that you're not delusional, that you're not deceiving yourself, that you are not wrong, or that somebody else isn't wrong. Because I get the feeling of like others attacking and you feeling like I need to be in a good place. Like I want more on the Seven of Swords. They're holding the egg here, guys. This is that new beginning, but it's these swords are laid out in a defensive manner. Two of Pentacles. So it's a question of taking the next step, because with this one, she's taking one foot in front of the other. And so it is moving further along on this path. You're afraid to say something. Like you don't want to start something. But I feel as if saying something is the next step in your destiny. Expressing something. You may know things and you intentionally withhold. Because I'm also getting with the Knight of Cups. This is like, the cup is the emotion. It is the feeling of something. But this is, sorry, flip it. This is the emotions of something, right? The cup is your intuition. And so I just feel and he's holding a scroll, which is kind of like something that is written, something that needs to be expressed, something that needs to be, again, something needs to be expressed. And then you keep holding back from it. You're afraid of the repercussion or retaliation or the, why would I use that word? You coven? You coven this new beginning? It has you taking the next step and starting something. I feel like they're saying in order to do this, you really have to be in the right mind frame. So that anything that happens as a result doesn't impact you negatively. It doesn't stop or hinder you from moving forward. and starting this. But you are worried about what may come, what ramifications there may be as a result of starting something. And you expressing yourself is directly related to starting something. Remember, with the Seven of Swords, you go into the army's camp to better equip yourself, to prepare yourself, to get yourself in the right state of mind, to get yourself not to defeat whatever else, but to be able to protect yourself, because you know that there is the potentiality of, you may fear bringing attention to you, because this is also the card of like deceit and thievery, and it's like if it makes you a target, then you think it'll be taken from you. Like if you're seen in on a larger scale, remember, because it's like you speaking out in a sea of others that are not, you saying something that maybe the others don't, even if it's meekly, it is, you feel you need to become defensive. Is it worth, like you're trying to determine, is it worth this new beginning? Is it worth it? But I would like to say the only way to protect this new start, this egg that's ready to hatch, this beginning, this new path, is to express yourself. That you will lose out on this path by not speaking. And that's the true message here, is that the Ten of Swords is reflecting and highlighting the fact that the worst is over. This new beginning has everything to do with this willingness to let something start. Say something to start something. This willingness to start something is where you can get out of this Ten of Swords energy. So you fear what starting something will do, but really you should fear what not starting something will do. Or you should fear, like that's the one that you're, like the fear that you're projecting into the new start is actually the thing you're experiencing now, or will experience if you don't. Does that make sense? So I'm not trying to create like oh, you should fear that. Like, it'll be something you won't like. And if you do have anybody get like saying anything, or you don't know if you would like the type of attention you would get, it pales in comparison to the agony of staying put and not taking the next step. Okay? It's all tied together, but you keep stopping yourself. See, here's this egg. Okay, let's pull out, it's keeping you from your destiny. And it takes strength to start and initiate and walk this path, but they're saying it takes more strength to do what you're doing right now. And it's eating away at you. Like the level of strength, the idea is to hold a feather in your hand and hold your hand out like this, right? If you extend your arm. At first it's super easy. After an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, your arm starts to lose its ability to maintain its endurance. Holding just a feather. You think, oh, this is so much easier, it's so much lighter. And they're like, no. Your arm will start to burn, and you start to get weak, and then your whole body ends up starting to like you can't withstand it. And so they're saying there's more damage to, and it's harder, and it takes more strength, and it takes more endurance to stay put where you're at and to not take this next step. So you need to start expressing yourself. So let's, like, the strength that's required is, I want to say it's not even comparable. to do what to do this, to hold back. Okay, so what needs to be said? Let's just let's explore. Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts right here. They're giving me a song, and I know the tune, like I can hear her singing, but it sounds muffled, and I'm trying to figure out what song they're trying to sing to me. I'll be there forever. Something. That's a Billie Eilish song, isn't it? Okay, that's a Billie Eilish song. I gotta look it up. I feel like saying you're gonna have a lot of support, because the idea of you're concerned about going down, and there's this sense of like there are people that need you to speak up, or someone that needs you to speak up, and it's like there's a sense of if you're unwilling, then we all kind of end up going down together. That's for somebody, but then I'm also feeling like if you speak up, that other voices will join in, or somebody will. There's something about you expressing yourself that brings in someone or something that like has your back. Now, yes, I said it was very etheric, but I also feel like you what you say brings the support, or for some it's people, and for others it's a person. Like it's what you say that attracts something to you. And this could be as simple as you being fully unfettered yourself, you know, instead of tailoring, oh, I shouldn't say that, or I shouldn't say something, or I shouldn't jump around like that when I say things, you know, like I need to watch how I express myself, because expression isn't more than just the things that you say, right? So you may do things to kind of like pull yourself back from being fully yourself. Let's see here. I'm going to everything I wanted. No, that's not it. Oh my God, gosh. Am I gonna have to cut this out? Like, this gap? Is it Birds of a Feather? Okay, we're gonna find this shit. I know somebody. LP usually knows my. I don't know if he can hear the shit in my head. I'm like, dude. No, Birds of a Feather is a fast song. God dang it. LP, if you're watching this, put the fucking song in the comments, please. I know you know exactly how. I cannot. That's important for somebody. I'm moving on because we got to, because it takes too much fucking time. All right, so share your thoughts. Share what, Spirit? What are you talking about? We're going to Secret Tarot. Next to you, is that the song? Oh my God. And that's going to irritate the shit out of me. I'm going to spend like 30 minutes after this reading to figure that shit out. Good God. Oh, that's how impactful, y'all. The Justice card. Because it's only right. Because it's unfair to you to have to curtail things. It's the notion if we constantly curtail for this imaginary societal authority, whatever that may be, or this fear, then we will no longer be, we won't attract what is meant for us. We will consistently live into a false truth, right? And that's what we will attract. So if you're not expressing yourself at your fullest, and you won't make decisions according to that either. You will make decisions according to the false sense of who you are, this false truth, versus your truth. Okay. And that takes you and puts you in a place where you do not find your destiny. All right. Oh, Lord. I'm actually keeping these. Hanged Man is because the way that you your expression is just even how you behave, how you interact with the environment around you, right? The way that you see something is so completely different. It's like inverted. You see it from another angle, and one that maybe people either don't want to hear. And the idea with the Six of Pentacles is some people will reject it, and some people, it's the thing that they need to rise above. Because in the Six of Pentacles, he's kind of like handing or doling out the thing that somebody needs. Whether it's money, resources, time, energy, whatever it is, right? There's always one receiving and one not. And so the idea is there will always be some people who will be well receptive to you, and others who will not. But you need to use that as that is your protection. Your frequency, your expression is your protection. It keeps those who don't align out of your inner circle, out of connecting and intermingling their energies. Their reactions tell you everything you need to know, right? And it's not always, I feel like it's so much easier. I feel like you have a history, whoever this is, of allowing people in your energetic sphere that don't belong. And you curtailing how you express yourself just to keep the peace or keep this or keep that, like to maintain something is the reason that you aren't stepping into your destiny. You got Seven of Cups. It keeps you confused, in lack, repeating cycles, and in a space of only seeing everything that's wrong. And I feel like when you're in that Five of Cups energy, that's what leads to you to constantly, because they're showing me the ending and starting and ending and starting and ending. And I know usually the devil is the one. But, and we'll go, like, there's more meanings I'm getting from this, but it's like it keeps you repeating that thing. It keeps you confused because you're trying to cater to something so that you can have, either get out of this sense of lack. Like, you're in a state of confusion because you don't want to be in this lack. Like, I don't want to lose people, or I don't want to lose this, or I don't want to da-da-da. Like, I'm trying to make it in this world, and you are constantly curtailing something. And I'm not saying to be an a-hole to people and to just be intentionally, because there's some people who will pretend and put on a persona of I don't give a fuck when they have like the kindest, gentlest heart at their core. But it, again, the I don't give a fuck attitude is still an act. It's not sincerely who they are, right? And we're talking about being sincerely who you are and expressing that. And so with the Seven of Cups and Five of Pentacles, it's kind of like it keeps you in this confused, lack state because it's not coming your way. And they said it's time to put it into that. And the thing about this particular Five of Cups is, well, for one, if you stay in that cycle, you would stay in the notion of it's like justification for constantly curtailing yourself. Constantly, you know what I mean? Like, just shedding a piece of you so that others, you're palatable, right? So that others are, it's like, it's this idea of like, well, you know, well, yes, there is a sense of compromise with individuals in society, not with those that are in your inner circle. If you have to ever forsake an aspect of yourself, then it's just not the right fit, and that's okay. You have to be okay with that. But you see it as Three of Cups, the cups that are spilt. And you focus on that sometimes. And then it ends up causing you to repeat. Because then you choose to curtail or hide or speak differently. And you're like, no, I need to, like, you do it so that you can progress. Again, that brings me back to, like, the idea of YouTube. It's like, you know, like when people are online, they don't fully say everything they want to, because either I'll lose followers, or I'll lose this, or I'll get banned with this. And I mean, and I feel like social media the internet itself has only amplified people in the sense of, it has emboldened some, don't get me wrong, but I would say it has amplified people's willingness to fit into a box in order to be able to move forward in life, right? Like, we have this notion that that's the only way to succeed. But it's bringing you things in your life that you don't actually really desire. And it's placing you in circumstances and in situations and relationships with people that are not for you. And that's why it's so agonizing. And so they're saying, in that shit, it's time to start anew. And here we are, like, I'd rather have 2 cups than 3, as long as, because these are things, remember, 2 cups is about things that are in harmony with you, things that are in alignment. But the 2 of Cups in this particular card is also the idea of, I know how to move forward, what I truly want and desire. I know a way out of this cycle, and it's being yourself, it's expressing yourself. Two of Wands. For somebody, this is putting your woo-woo-ness on full display. I'm sorry, I can't help it. This is expressing things that come to you intuitively. This is expressing your deep emotions, the parts of you that you hold really hidden from the world, right? This is taking action to bring that to the forefront, to allow it to be seen. They said it's the only real action to take. Is there a specific area in life in which you would like for, like, where they are holding back? Because sometimes I can tell you there's certain individuals, I want to say, within existing groups and structures, within your spirituality, within traditional areas of life, like some of the more traditional, long-standing structures. So that could be like family, it could be political, it could be spiritual, very much so spiritual. It could be within the realm of your relationships. Hierophant also reminds me of like traditions and things that can be imposed on us. When we're talking, it's like institutions versus a structure. I always say that structure is one that I liken it to something that is good, right? It creates a malleable, easy to change framework, right? Institutions are created as such to be immovable, to be unadaptable, that where others have to adapt to it, right? And that might be the problem. But I want to say that I feel as if it's your expression. They're saying your expression of who you really are is an expression of your divinity within and sharing that with the world. And that doesn't mean that you are necessarily a woo-woo person like me. You could be. This could just be again, you're not meant to be a block that fits in. For some of you, you are meant to be advocates and activists and the change makers in society. That I find so disheartening that there are factions of the spiritual community that find that to be abhorrent. Like, I have literally heard the spiritual, like people within a spiritual community, whether it's a particular religion or just spirituality, that will chastise people. There are individuals within spiritual community, even within some of the belief systems that I have, who will sit there and advocate that it is that way because the people don't want it to change, and until they're willing to change, then I won't do anything. And I'm thinking, you obviously have not met your divinity within, because there's absolutely no way that you could be okay with. Because if you've truly met yourself deeply, then you have a deep connection to and understanding of others and their plight and their experience here on this earth. And there are just so many. I've literally heard people, it's like it'll keep happening until they choose to change within. And it's like, oh my fucking God. Like, could you be any more out of touch? Yeah. To have really met yourself that deeply, you would be moved by others. And I understand having a healthy boundary of knowing what you can and can't do for others or with others. But that does not mean that you sit on some isolated pedestal in the forest, because it might mess with my energy. It might put me, like, I understand taking breaks and I understand recalibrating yourself, but to detach from existence is the opposite of the purpose of this existence. And so it's more than just irksome to listen to the privilege and entitlement of those when they do, like within the spiritual community, I'm just going to say. But this is alchemizing and changing the systems that are at play, alchemizing and changing spirituality, alchemizing and changing a society. This is those things that are impenetrable, impermeable, unmalleable, that need to change, need to go through a transformation. It is speaking on it and bringing that to the forefront and being an active participant in that. And that doesn't mean that you are necessarily an activist. full time as a career or something to that effect, but you act as a catalyst for that change within your life for the systems that keep you in the box, wherever you are, whatever that is, when you choose to step outside of that box and you allow it to be on full display. It's the idea that is how this existence becomes the prosperous, happy, benevolent, harmonious state that we all want for one another. I want to say it's that seed that then cascades into something that all can benefit from. It may seem small, but it starts small and it grows into something greater. You are not helping anything, or anyone, okay? By shaving off bits and pieces and aspects of who you are and not sharing that with the world. That is the message. I hope it finds whoever it is meant for, and I hope it finds whoever it finds in a good place and in a ready place. Because your destiny is on the other side of this. Much love. I'll see y'all later this week.